In this edition of Insight, the Fireball Run races across the finish line in the capital city. We go deep inside a secure treasure vault located right here in Pierre. And a couple of local musicians are getting ready for the Macy's Thanksgiving Day Parade, and you can help. That and more tonight on Insight. Hey, thanks for watching. The Fireball Run arrived in historic downtown Pierre this past Friday, and our cameras were on hand to catch that. Some of the most exclusive and rare cars you'll ever see. And here's a little bit of insight. Not all of them are from out of town. We're here on historic Pierre Street with the Street Masters Car Club. What's your name and what do you drive?
My name is Rich Shangru. I drive a 1968 Plymouth Roadrunner.
And this is not just a Plymouth Roadrunner, this is your Plymouth Roadrunner from high school.
Well, actually, I bought this, ordered it the summer after my freshman year of college, drove it 2 years, sold it when I ordered a 1970 Plymouth 340 Duster, found it 24 years later sitting in a Quonset down in Armour, South Dakota, bought it back and restored it back to pretty much the way it was when I bought it brand new.
This is a special car from day one. What drew you to want this car?
You know, I think it was a cartoon Roadrunner commercial that I saw on TV, and I thought that would look kind of neat. So I went down and ordered it from a local Chrysler dealership here. It was Holtz Motors at the time.
So everyone knows you from your car career. You know cars better than anyone else. Is this the same color, the same engine? What kind of work has gone into keeping it like this?
Pretty much it's exactly like it was when I bought it new. Yeah, the same color. It's called avocado green metallic. Engine has been bored 60 thousandths, but it's got the same 10.5 to 1 pistons, the same cam. The intake. This car was used as a drag vehicle for about 8 years. A guy down in Burke, South Dakota had it. It was painted yellow. It was all lettered up. It went by the name of Mr. Savage. The guy changed the engine, took the 4-speed out, put an automatic in, changed the rear end. Fortunately, he saved all the parts, and I got all the original parts back.
And of course, like I said, it's gone through a little bit of restoration work there, but this is a driver for you. You're not just showing this off. You've got some time behind the wheel.
I drive it as much as I can. If there's any distance or if it's too hot, I usually trailer it though.
Well, tell me a little bit about Mopar, because you're a hardcore Mopar guy. It seems like they fall into Ford, Chevy, but Mopar guys are among the most committed. Why is that?
You know, I think it's because you don't see a lot of them around. There's a lot of Chevys at car shows. There's a lot of Fords, a lot of Camaros, Mustangs, those type of vehicles. But you just don't see a lot of the Mopars, the Roadrunners, the GTXs, the Hemi Darts. Very rare.
Okay, so you're the membership director for Street Masters. Tell me a little bit about Street Masters and who can join.
You know, anybody can join you. I'm the membership chairman, and it's open to anybody that's a car enthusiast. It doesn't have to be a classic, a muscle car, an antique. If you just enjoy cars, you're welcome to join the club.
I understand you'll even let guys in with a station wagon.
Especially guys with station wagons.
All right, one last question. Can I drive it?
No.
Thanks, Rich. How's the race? How much fun has it been?
Oh, it's been a gas. Every place we've been has just been awesome. We've done tons of stuff. I can't even think about what we've done. We've done drag racing and demo derbies and finding helmets and Abe Lincoln and everything. It's just been very, very cool.
How good does it feel to be in Pierre?
I told Brian this morning, we get to sleep in our own hotel rooms tonight. Don't get to sleep in our own beds, but it's really cool.
Brian, how much fun has it been to be on the race?
It's been a blast. It's been a blast. There's something that we never thought we could ever do in every city, including Pierre. So we had some new experiences here today that were just mind-blowing. It's been the whole time.
How much fun was it doing it with your dad?
You know, we're both still alive, which is a good thing. But
we only threatened to kill each other more than half a dozen times.
No, it's been a blast.
What's it like racing through your hometown?
It was great. We knew where everything was.
I think we had an advantage for sure.
Knew the lay of the land, so
that's probably why we didn't get any points for today's missions.
Tell me something about how proud you are for Pierre in the race and all the things compared to the other communities. What's Pierre pride like right now for you?
It's awesome.
All these communities that we've been in, they've really set the bar. They've had tons of people coming in, and we got great receptions. And we were really hoping that we'd have the same kind of reception here. And you guys have not let us down. This is awesome.
Last question, and I know you got to go. What does it mean to have this many people out here? You haven't been all the way forward, but there's a huge crowd down there. What does it mean for all the people that came out? What does it mean to you?
I really think that it just means that these people care about what we're all about, and that's finding missing children.
Yeah.
I think that if we can get the awareness out, our missing child is Sharon Waldeagle.
Here.
And
you see that?
Yep.
She's from Eagle Butte. She went missing in 1984, so she's been missing for a long time. The family is still holding out hope, and so are we. And so what we've been asking people to do is giving this to them and tell them to take a picture of it and put it on Facebook, put it on Instagram, social media, just to get it out there. Most kids get found because somebody sees a picture and it triggers something, and they say, "Oh, that person lives in the apartment below me." Or
Actual photo or aged enhanced?
aged enhanced.
Aged enhanced photo.
Well, I don't know. Do you guys recognize them by chance? That's right, it is your hometown team. How are we doing, Trace?
good. We had a great day today. It's awesome. It's great to see all these people here.
It is definitely a great homecoming when you can come into that kind of reception.
No question.
Definitely good to be home, and we are so happy to see so many people here, so many familiar faces. Finally, good to be back in Pierre.
Now, I mentioned earlier how I got to go chase some pheasants out of a field, and you guys were there also. How'd you fare?
Well, I think that it took about 15, maybe 30 seconds. They had some really good dogs there, so that Broken Arrow got some nice atmosphere and good dogs.
Fantastic. Now, I mentioned this to a lot of the other teams. I think I mentioned it to you yesterday. You're home for about 12 hours. Then you have to hit the road again with us to our last stop in Rapid City. You think you can handle that?
I told Ryan this morning that we might not get to sleep in our own beds tonight, but we got to sleep in our own hometown hotel tonight, so that's cool.
Do you have any family here with you guys? I know.
Yeah, I believe my wife Lynn is here. And Grandma and Grandpa are here, and I'm not sure. I think that there's probably quite a few others here tonight. I haven't seen everybody.
All right, well, we're going to let you go visit with your family. But before you leave, Pierre, I want to hear you scream for your hometown team, the Pierre Rockers. It's always so cool when they get to come home. They have to immediately leave, just like these two found out this morning. We were hanging out in Yankton and Vermilion, South Dakota.
Historic downtown Pierre with the Fireball Run. What's your name and what do you drive?
Gary and Carol Johnson from Fort Pierre, and we've got a 1967 Rolls-Royce Silver Shadow.
Literally takes my breath away. Nothing you can say about this, but we're going to try. A 67 Rolls-Royce. This is beyond rare.
The car has some unique history. It come out of north central Minnesota, and I don't know the history from the original owner to that point, but the gentleman that bought it was 73, 74 years old at the time, and he was part of the family that owned the Corning Glass Company in upstate New York. We found that history out through the Rolls-Royce Foundation. We also found out that Mr. Reginald Sinclair was a World War I fighter pilot that flew for the country of France, chasing the Red Baron all over Europe at that time during the war. World War II breaks out, and you can imagine who wants him for his skills, the United States government, as a fighter trainer for our young people.
So this car in 1967, there's nothing higher than a Rolls-Royce, but the Silver Shadow is really the one Rolls-Royce is proud of. you brought it back to all its glory. I saw pictures of this when you started restoration. It didn't look like this.
No, when we purchased the car, it was white. It had a white lacquer that was failing. The interior was shot. When my body people started working on it, we found out that it was 2 colors, which took me to the Rolls-Royce Foundation, which had the original sales paper. This car sold for $24,000 in April of 1967 to Mr. Sinclair, and found out that it was the two-tone, as you see, black and silver, and that's the original colors that this car was. And then the interior we had done at Big Sky Upholstery in Box Elder, South Dakota, and the man did a fabulous job on it.
Carol, I have to ask you, the interior is absolutely gorgeous. I would call it a brick color, maybe a burgundy, maybe a red, but does it feel as good as it looks? Is it as luxurious as it looks?
Yes, it's very nice. It's very soft. The leather he did a nice job on the leather. It's beautiful.
And this took a long time to complete, and you said your guys did a lot of the work. This isn't like you sent it off or bought it this way. This has got a lot of local connections to it.
Our crews in our shop did the bulk of the work. The interior we did nothing with, but we stripped it down, and the whole gist of having it restored was that she had a milestone high school class reunion in Brookings this fall, and I told her that I would have the car ready, and I fulfilled the promise.
It took almost a year or just over a year, but it looks fantastic. Congratulations on the work. These were originally handmade cars, so restoring it had to be. You found some interesting things, such as in the back end, almost resembles what we'd think of like a 3/4 ton truck, you were telling me?
Yes, the rear axle, drive axle assembly on it is like a 3/4 ton pickup to us Americans, where it's got a bolt pattern that you have to pull the axles out of it in order to drop the third member of the differential. So it's heavy duty. This car weighs 6,000 pounds, and it's heavy because I've hauled it, and I know it's heavy.
Carol, the Queen drives around in a Rolls-Royce Silver Shadow. Does it make you feel like a queen in this thing?
I guess I've never thought of it that way, but yeah.
Well, it's beautiful. Thank you for bringing it out. Congratulations. Just an incredible accomplishment.
Thank you, Pat.
Thank you.
Team 4.
Take care, guys. Hey, guys. Hey, take care.
All right, what's your name and what do you drive?
Kurt Reese from Fort Pierre. I got a 69 340 CUDA 4-speed car.
And this is not just a CUDA, it's the CUDA, like literally less than 100 of these original?
It was one of 98 built, a 4-speed car. There was only 68 of them. The unique part about it, Pat, is I ordered this car in February '69 and took possession of it in May. I'm the original owner of the car. And back in '13, I found the car. A collector in Hyde Park, New York had it. And he was gracious enough, he sold it back to me because he knew I'd get it running. And it's a numbers matching car, motor and transmission. And that's what my goal was, to get it going. I don't drive a lot, but I've had a lot of fun with it, trust me.
Oh, this is incredible. So 69, you're in the Army, and this is what's on your mind. I've heard that story from a number of people in that era, but tell me about how important this car was when you ordered it.
It was. I actually ordered the car to race it down at Thunder Valley in Marion, and I did that summer, and I actually won 7 trophies with the car between Marion and down to Sioux City, Nebraska.
So it was a racer. This has pedigree.
Exactly. That's what I bought it for. No frills, got an armrest and AM radio, no power steering, no power brakes.
Now, a lot of guys, when they have a cool car like this in their young years, the car goes away. One reason or another, you lose it, and it disappears. Not everyone can track them down and find them again. You weren't successful the first time around looking for it?
Well, I found it in '95, but at the time I didn't have the money to purchase it. And out of a whim, I'd had a lot of photos taken from '69. My ex-wife Diane had taken them. And I got to looking at those in May of '13. And just on a whim, I got on a couple of Mopar websites, started posting the story in the photos, and this guy from New York started emailing me back and forth. Low enough, he had the car. The car went from Hamtramck, New York, to Mitchell, to Geddes, to Sioux City, to Omaha, to San Diego, California, all the way across the country to Hyde Park, New York, and now back to Fort Pierre.
It's incredible, and obviously you want to keep it as it is.
Yeah, I talked about repainting it and that, but it looks good the way it is, and we're just going to leave it this way. It'll stay with me, and when my time comes, the good Lord calls, the kids can do what they want to it at that time.
Well, it's a beautiful car. It's a lot of fun, I'm sure, and try to stay out of trouble with it.
Oh, yeah. I haven't put loud mufflers on it, but I might.
Last question, I promise. Can I drive it?
You sure can.
Oh, man, I can't believe we got that on tape. Everyone else says, hell no.
Yeah.
Hey, I don't want to give you the impression that the Street Masters Car Club is just about old guys in their cars. There are plenty of old ladies in the club, too. Wait, what? No, cut. Hey, I don't want to give you the impression that the Street Masters Car Club is just about old guys in their cars. There are a lot of ladies in the club, too, and frankly, the club wouldn't work without them. All you need to be in Street Masters is a love of cars and good people. You don't even need a car to join. So if you'd like to know more about Street Masters, log onto their website and check into it. It's just another great thing to do here in Fort Pierre.